Sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
It's not gonna happen, and Daniel McMillan,
Pennsylvania native, kept here winning here at Pocono.
Third win of the season, and win the championship.
Ryan Benjamin with the last lap pass, and he is going to score the victory in the Minute Maid 300.
Sam Oskin, third win of the season! He's gonna get it and only leads 3 laps today!
Welcome to the NOFSRL. The first state to join the union will hold the 19th race of this season. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to race number 19 of season number 1 of the 2020 NOFSRL Mission Barbecue Cup Series. We are live from the Dover International Speedway here in beautiful Dover, Delaware, the first state in the United States here for the running of the M&M's 400. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Trey Wright. We're going to be doing 80 laps around this exactly 1 mile, monster mile here in beautiful Dover, Delaware. And this is definitely going to be a fun race here around this track, the 19th race of the season. And after this race, we're only going to have 6 races left until we have the chase cut off the top 10 drivers in points and the 2 wild card drivers. But we'll get into the points in just a moment, but we're going to go over your top 5 starting positions. On the pole is number 56 of Benjamin Dover, your Armored Digital winner earlier this season, starting alongside him. His best starting position of the season, if I'm not mistaken, number 40 of Owen Miles. Row 2 is the number 15, your Daytona 500 champion of Ryan Benjamin. He starts alongside the number 12 of Nathan Buchanan. And row 3, Dustin Davis in the 77 starts alongside the 42 of Dave Benjamin Jr. Row 4, your Texas World winner of Zachary Fitzwater starts alongside your first Dodge race winner, of drawing a blank here, Jake Hoover, apologize. And row 5 are the American Motorsports teammates of Trey Smith and Al Agassi. That rounds out your top 10. So let's quickly go over the points. The points will be on your screen in just one moment as I pull up the spreadsheet. And the points after the chaotic race at the Badlands last week, Landon Smith Jr. is in the lead with 2,376 points and 2 wins, right on his heels, about 50 points back, 51 points back exactly is Eric Monaco in the 75, trying to locate him on the racetrack. There he is, starting alongside his teammate, your last winner in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series at the Badlands for the Cards Against Humanity 300K, Logan Williams. But once again, another poor qualifying effort for that 75 team. But they're definitely looking to make that up. And then there is your points leader, the number 88 of Landon Smith Jr. And then Brady Wilmington, your Coca-Cola winner. He has climbed his way up into 3rd in points. He is, 56 points back, I should say. And then Madison Tall, your Boston winner, is P4 in the points. And then rounding out the top 5 in points is your pole sitter of Benjamin Dover with 2,196 points. All the top 5 drivers have a win. In fact, all the top 7 drivers in points have wins. If you go back to Riley Sampson in 8th, the first driver in the top 10 in points that does not have a win. As of right now, if everything was cut off, your chase, the top 10 drivers in points would be Landon Smith Jr., Eric Monaco, Brady Wilmington, Madison Tall, Benjamin Dover, Tyler Reynolds, Bradley Ream, Riley Sampson, Al Agassi, and Zachary Fitzwater would make up your chase, with the wild card drivers being Ryan Benjamin and Logan Williams. But that can definitely fluctuate within the next 8 races, including this. But without further ado, let's get the cars rolling off here in just one moment. And there it is, the Papyrus pace car rolling off of pit road, making sure everybody gets going, and it appears that they are. Going to be doing 80 laps of action around this monster mile. This track, it's known as a self-cleaning racetrack for its bankings. 25 degrees of banking, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check real quick. 24, I was so close, ladies and gentlemen. But 24 degrees of banking in the turns, and then on the straightaways, I should probably check once again on straightaway. Straight's banked at 9 degrees, so that's just enough. If the cars wreck on the straightaways, they will go down to the bottom. That's where that self-cleaning aspect comes in, making sure everybody's rolling off, and they are. There's Colton Yo and Nathan Stapleton to make up the final row. But definitely going to be a very fun race. Going to have one set of pit stops at the roughly lap 60, and pit road is definitely very challenging to get onto here. The Papyrus pace car is going to pull off onto pit road. Benjamin Dover and Owen Miles will lead them to the green flag. Green flag is out. We're racing at the Monster Mile. Lap 1 is led by the number 15 of, no, not the 15, the 56 of Dave Benjamin Jr., not Dave Benjamin Jr., Benjamin Dover, Ryan Benjamin, a whole lot of Benjamins in this field. I just realized Benjamin Dover's MWR teammate has gone to the points, and now Ryan Benjamin leading his first couple of laps ever since the Daytona 500. Actually, that's not incorrect. That's actually incorrect. I don't know what I'm doing here, but MWR teammates battling for the top position. Here comes Benjamin Dover to the inside of Ryan Benjamin. Never even noticed that correlation before. And here comes Zachary Fitzwater, your Texas World winner. He's climbed up in the second position. Outside lane is definitely not working, as you see Owen Miles has fallen outside the top 5. It looks like we have a yellow on the racetrack. Keegan Thompson and Caleb Rose. Okay, at least he's not flipping, but once again, driver of the number 54 for Velocity Racing. This has got to be like the 10th week in a row he has been caught up in some sort of incident. 10th race in a row, I should say. Just Caleb Rose having an absolutely horrendous season so far. Looks like we're possibly gonna have cars coming down pit road. No, we are not. Only 4 laps into the race. I believe Caleb Rose is going to be the only car that comes down the pit lane. Keegan Thompson also with a lot of rear end damage by the skid marks on the front straightaway. Looks like those guys made some significant contact, but Caleb Rose once again damage to that 54 car. Doesn't appear to be mortal damage, but that may slow his aerodynamics enough just a bit that he is going to unfortunately be out of contention. Same for Keegan Thompson. Keegan Thompson, the only driver, one of two drivers, I should say, with multiple wins this season, being at Hillside 1 and Papyrus. The other driver with multiple wins is your points leader, Landon Smith Jr., winning at Nazareth and Ricky. So definitely been polarizing between the two drivers with multiple wins. I see Caleb Campbell in the 46 also with some damage, so he might have been caught up in this incident as well. So a couple Macklin Hamill Motorsports drivers involved with a Velocity Racing driver. Caleb Rose coming slowly off the pit lane. Doesn't appear he's going to lose a lap here, hopefully. But unfortunate nonetheless for the Velocity Racing driver. But Benjamin Dover led them back to the stripe. So let's see what happened to bring out the first caution here at the Dover International Speedway for the M&M's 400. So you're going to see here, they're almost 4 wide coming off the corner. You're going to see Colton Yo just slide up. This was almost another Velocity Racing incident, but Colton Yo ultimately going to dump Caleb Rose driver's side door into that concrete wall. Going to spin around on the front straightaway. I think that should be it. I think he's going to come back into traffic. That's what triggers the caution. I don't know. Keegan Thompson actually went around. Actually, this might have been coming to the caution. That got close right there between the 46 and the 54. I think Keegan Thompson going around, that might have actually been the original cause of the caution. So I'll have to go and replay that as well. So this was the original cause of the caution. 3 wide onto the back straightaway. Just some contact there. Nathan Stapleton in the middle of a Macklin Hamill Motorsports sandwich right there. And Keegan Thompson and 46 of Caleb Campbell going to have the worst damage. Keegan Thompson going around the racetrack, going to back it right into the outside wall. That's going to trigger the caution. So it's actually coming back to the stripe where Caleb Rose was spun out. So we'll look at both incidences in real time and then get you back to your restart. Following along here with Keegan Thompson, just unfortunately a couple meaningless cars in the back had to wreck out, or just spin out I should say, to the expense of Danny Hamlin. And this is what happened to Caleb Rose once again. Just wrong place, wrong time for the 54. He unfortunately goes around. He is definitely thankful that he did not get hit by the 46 nor the 98 there. But two separate incidences to bring out the first caution of the day. See, these guys are still 3 wide coming back to the caution. I think Colton Yo is just trying to get his position back as they were racing back to the stripe. But nobody came down the pit lane except for Caleb Rose, who was involved in an accident. But Benjamin Dover in the 56 looking for his second win of the season. He won at Armory Digital Super Speedway. Can he win at a short track? Okay, like real talk, Dover to me is technically a short track because it's like a Coliseum. It looks like Bristol on steroids, but I know I'm going to get flack in the comments for saying that. But either way, Benjamin Dover is your leader with Fitzy, Ryan Benjamin, Trey Smith, and Owen Miles rounding out your top 5. Let's see what these guys can do on the restart here at the Dover International Speedway for the M&M's 400. Welcome back here to the Dover International Speedway, wrapping up our first caution of the day. And it appears nobody was knocked out and nobody was as a lap down, I should say. Caleb Rose is the last car on the lead lap in that damage number 54. Keegan Thompson, Nathan Stapleton, and Caleb Campbell all on the racetrack. I think 98 of Nathan Stapleton doesn't have a whole lot of damage. I think it was just caught up in that incident. Wrong place, wrong time for the 98. But nonetheless, Benjamin Dover, Fitzy, Ryan Benjamin, Trey Smith, and Owen Miles make up your top 5 for the restart here in the M&M's 400. And Caleb Rose not getting a good jump in the 54, so he's probably going to be a problem driver for these top guys, but nobody really got a good jump. Fitzy is right on the back bumper of that 56. Benjamin Dover going to go a little bit wide, but he's going to lead another lap here. It is possible he could lead every lap. Actually, no, he couldn't lead every lap because Ryan Benjamin has led a couple of laps early on. But now they're going side by side. Fitzy trapped on the outside. Owen Miles trying to make a 3 wide in between Trey Smith and Fitzy. Going to make a 3 wide there for just a split second there. Fitzy going to be on the outside, nearly hitting the wall. That's going to allow the MWR cars to pull away from this little hornet's nest here. Owen Miles started second, fell back to about 7th or so. Was back into the podium position here. And now Danny DeVito Sr. have not seen much of him all season long. Driver for Buck Racing, and speaking for Buck Racing, his teammate of Juan Rodriguez is up here as well. I've not seen any of these guys. We got 3 wide in the back here. Derek Hamill, the only Macklin Hamill Motorsports car not to be caught up in an incident, was 3 wide there for a split second between the 38 of Trey Smith and the 5 of Cole Sampson, your Talladega winner earlier this season. But back up front, Ryan Benjamin and Benjamin Dover and Ryan Benjamin been the class of the field so far in this race. Just past an 1/8 of their way through this race. And Danny DeVito Sr. has climbed his way up into 3rd. 4th is Brendan Udell, and a battle for 5th between the 50 of Mitchell Collins, the 5 of Cole Sampson, and the 19 of Juan Rodriguez. Actually add the 40 of Owen Miles to that battle as well. And now battling for the top 10 position is going to be the 77 of Dustin Davis, the 10 of Jonathan Logan, and the 76 of Bradley Ream. Jonathan Logan, another guy that is... Actually, it's not like we haven't seen him all season. We've seen him all season, but he's been just getting caught up in other people's messes, unfortunately. Owner-driver for Father Fruit Motorsports. Father Fruit Motorsports has just had a miserable season so far. Not a whole lot of finishes. Their highlight of the season has probably been... their highlight finish, I should say, has been the 51 of Carter Joey, almost winning at Michigan, the 3rd race of the season. highlight of the season has probably been Mitchell Collins flipping at the night race at Hillside. But back to the race lead, it is still Benjamin Dover and Ryan Benjamin. MWR cars running 1-2. That got close there between Udell and DeVito Sr. And Mitchell Collins has found his way into the top 4. Actually, no, top 5, I should say. These guys are nose to tail. And Ryan Benjamin is slowly catching up on to his teammates. This is where Caleb Rose is in relation to Tyler Reynolds, who's at the back half of this pack, 3 wide in front of your Hillside night winner. Charlie Davenport, Carter Joey talking about him earlier. There's Daniel Voiles ever since he won Watkins Glen, kind of been cooling off ever since that win. Caleb Campbell, Nathan Stapleton, Brady Wilmington, 3rd in points coming into Dover, not having a good day, but Dover is kind of a tough track to pass at, so if your qualifying effort is kind of dismal, then you're going to be running in the back all day hoping for yellows. There's Riley Sampson, Nathan Smith, your Charlotte winner. Jake Hoover. Oh, Jake Hoover and James Edwards. That got really close there between those 2 drivers. James Edwards, another driver, definitely been had a very interesting season so far. Had a very interesting couple of races. We see Juan Rodriguez. Rodriguez has definitely fallen back. He is currently in the 22nd position as of last lap. We'll have to see where he falls out in relation to all these guys. Same with Fitzy. Fitzy has really fallen back as well. Playing up Josh Williamson. He's definitely kind of been heating up in these last couple of races. Finished 3rd at our last race at the Badlands. Had a horrible start to the season like Jonathan Logan, but like Jonathan Logan, those 2 have been kind of heating up. Williamson more so. But back to the race lead, and I say it pretty much every race, it's not an NOFSRL race. If we miss a pass for the lead, Ryan Benjamin goes past his teammate of Benjamin Dover, but Dover's going to cross over back to the inside, side-by-side, drag race down the front straightaway. Benjamin Dover is going to edge out his teammate. That's going to allow the 50 of Mitchell Collins to reel into these guys. 3-car battle for the top spot. Ryan Benjamin going to be on the outside. Mitchell Collins is going to try and have a run on the 56, going into 3, not going to quite get there. Dover is going to shut the door on the 50. Wouldn't that be something if Benjamin Dover would win at Dover over his teammate Ryan Benjamin? We're just entering the Matrix or something like that with that situation. See, I'm not sure if Charlie Davenport hit the outside wall or not, but he has fallen back. No, I think Davenport, that team has just been horrendously slow all season. In fact, many Toyotas this season, aside from Otter Island Motorsports and MWR, who I think are actually no, I'm going to retract what I'm about to say because that is absolutely incorrect. I think the only Toyota team that has been horrendous has been Charlie Davenport Motorsports, because Otter Island Motorsports, oh, we got a car around, Udell, there goes Ryan Benjamin, oh, Josh Williamson around, that's going to bring out a yellow, oh, Matt Tuck, hello, Dustin Davis, there in the middle, Dave Benjamin Jr., oh my goodness, a lot of cars involved, we're stacking here in turn 3, and this is a big mess. Oh my goodness, DeVito Jr. involved, Fitzy, Matt Tuck, Nathan Smith, and that got ugly real quick. Dave Benjamin Jr., Jake Hoover, and ladies and gentlemen, I think it's safe to say that's the big one. Oh, that took out a lot of guys. Oh my goodness. Matt Tuck, Ryan Benjamin going for the ride of his life, flipping down the banking out Legacy with a little bit of hood damage. Caleb Rose is probably involved. Voiles as well. And just like that, a lot of cars getting taken out here. Keegan Thompson coming down. I think he might be a lap down. But first set of pit stops, Udell. And I think Mitchell Collins. Mitchell Collins actually led them back to the stripe. But, man, oh man. Ryan Benjamin's going to get knocked out. That's going to severely hurt him in points. Well, in the words of Ron Burgundy, well, that escalated quickly. Oh my goodness. They say Dover is a self-cleaning racetrack, but those cars were all over the place. I think Benjamin Dover, he's going to get edged out here just a little bit by Danny DeVito Sr. Actually, no, Mitchell Collins was the first one on the pit lane. Lightning fast pit stop for that 50 car. He was the one that led them back. I think Benjamin Dover's going to lose a couple of positions on the pit lane, but man, oh man, that was quite the melee. I think we actually had a couple cars stay out here. Not entirely sure, but extended repairs. Juan Rodriguez, Dustin Davis extended repairs on that 77. Nathan Smith, your Charlotte winner, was involved. They're taking the hood off of that 25. Waiting for timing and scoring here. Charlie Davenport stayed out along with Bradley Ream. And I think the 54 and the 7 are going to be scored a lap down. Yes, so unfortunately, once again, Caleb Rose and Keegan Thompson are going to be lap down cars. But Charlie Davenport and Bradley Ream definitely, actually, he doesn't really need the points, but Charlie Davenport, he is going to need a wing and a prayer to make the chase. So he can gamble like this, but I think it's kind of extremely early to be gambling. Not even halfway, just past a quarter of the way through the race. But a wild wreck here in turns 3 and 4 at the Dover International Speedway. We saw Ryan Benjamin flipping over, doing a Joey Logano-esque flip back here in 2009. So let's see what happened to bring out the second caution of the day. Will probably be the big one here in the M&M's 400. So we're going to see Brendan Goodell right here. I know, shades of NASCAR The Game 2011, someone overdriving it off of turn 2, and then he's going to dump the 15. Not intentionally dump Ryan Benjamin. Benjamin hard hitting to the inside wall, and he is going to go over and over. Very similar to Joey Logano's crash. And the right into the door, the roof, I should say. There's Josh Williamson. That's going to end his day. The Adele is on the bottom of the racetrack, but you're going to see the 15. This is where the self-cleaning part comes in. Matt Tuck trying to make evasive maneuvers. He gets hit. So does the 77 of Davis. And meanwhile, these guys are just stacking here. Your points leader gets through unscathed. But the same cannot be said for a lot of these guys. Dave Benjamin Jr. right into his brother. Hard hit. Passenger side door for Jake Hoover in the 27. See, Juan Rodriguez getting spun, and these guys just stacking it in the back here. Fitzy, actually Charlie Davenport was involved, but Nathan Stapleton, Voiles, Danny DeVito Jr., Juan Rodriguez in the 19. You see Goodell, he's just going to slam the brakes in the number 97 here. Just a very, very large accident here that's going to take out a lot of drivers here at the Dover International Speedway. So following along here with Ryan Benjamin, you see Goodell just overshoots turn 2 and then right into Ryan Benjamin. This is going to very hurt him well in points. And Josh Williamson, wrong place, wrong time. Unfortunately, so is Matt Tuck. And they're going to flash back here. That's where Danny DeVito Jr. gets his damage. So it's just a whole lot of guys. Fitzy getting rear-ended by Daniel Voiles. Just a whole lot of stacking up here. I think we'll go with spectator cam in turns 3 and 4 to see the full extent of this incident. But very wild wreck for a lot of these guys. It's going to take out a lot of cars. So this is going to be in super slow motion. You see the leader, Mitchell Collins, lead. You see the caution lights flick on any second. You're going to see there's a 15 of Ryan Benjamin coming into frame. Udell also going around. Then Josh Williamson right into the door of the 15. Logan Williams with evasive maneuvers. Going to try and analyze everything. As we've seen what happened with Matt Tuck and Ryan Benjamin, so we're going to focus in the back more towards the right middle of your screen. See what happened with Danny DeVito Sr., I think. Yeah, DeVito's Jr., I should say, clipped the 97 of Udell. He's going to go into the outside wall. And there you can see Dave Benjamin Jr. He's going to hit the 15 right there. Hard hit for Dave Benjamin Jr. And then these guys are just ultimately stacking up here. And just unfortunate for these guys. Fitzy is going to rear-end the 52 of Tuck. And then Fitzy himself gets rear-ended. A little bit of a Michelin Barbecue Cup Series ICR centipede right there between Tuck, Fitzy, and Voiles. Just very unfortunate for a lot of these guys. This is going to take out a lot of cars here at the Dover International Speedway. So there's Josh Williamson. We were giving him props earlier for being up front. But now he's going to be up front in the garage. But Mitchell Collins led them back to the stripe. We'll clean up this mess even though the track kind of cleaned it up for us. and we'll quickly get you back to the restart here at the Dover International Speedway, cleaning up a big wreck for our second caution here in the M&M's 400. Welcome back to the M&M's 400 at the Dover International Speedway, wrapping up our second caution of the day. I completely forgot that Charlie Davenport is technically your leader. He and Bradley Ream both stayed out, even though they're both minorly involved in the incident. Speaking of that incident, here the drivers are involved. Nathan Stapleton is going to be Nathan Stapleton, Danny DeVito Jr., Matt Tuck, Josh Williamson, Fitzy, Ryan Benjamin, Jake Hoover, Dave Benjamin Jr., Daniel Voiles, Brandon Goodell. All 11 of those cars are going to be smelling what the Rock is cooking to expend. And Elijah Leonard quote, Keegan Thompson and Caleb Rose are both one lap down as Charlie Davenport leads them back. And automatically you see Caleb Rose falling back in the 54. He's got a lot of internal damage. But Charlie Davenport on the high side. Tire wear definitely matters here, and you are seeing it as Mitchell Collins is going to fly right by the 66 and the 76. Charlie Davenport, I know he can gamble just a little bit late in the season to lead a couple of laps, get a couple of points. But just unfortunately, he's going to be falling back a lot here. He is going to be eaten alive in that 66. Meanwhile, a couple of these guys getting jammed back here. Caleb Rose, once again, I think is going to be a problem lap car. Caleb Rose just has the most unfortunate luck here so far, almost hitting the outside wall again. I'm not trying to play favorites here, but it would be awesome if we see that 54 win a race this season, but unfortunately it's not going to happen today, and it is even more unlikely that he gets in the chase as 38 of Trey Smith nearly gets turned on the bumper of Madison Tall. Tall just hoping that some of her point rivals can try and wreck themselves. There's Landon Smith Jr., your current points leader. He's once again a fair bit ahead. Actually, I shouldn't say a fair bit ahead. The top 3 in point, actually top 4 in points, are more or less underneath a blanket. That got close right there between Hamill, Edwards, and Ream. Ream is getting eaten alive in that 76 with those old tires, trying to see where Davenport is. There's Juan Rodriguez, 77 of Dustin Davis, who were involved in those accidents. They're slow on the racetrack, but back to the race lead. Mitchell Collins trying to get Father Fruit Motorsports their first win of the season. He's going to have a little bit of drafting help from Keegan Thompson. I think he just got caught a lap down. He still has some celibacy of speed in the 7, but he's just being used as a pick currently between the 50 and the 56 of Benjamin Dover. And Logan Williams trying to back up his first win of the season at the Badlands on Tuesday with another top 5 finish, or possibly even a win. We're probably going to have another set of pit stops here in this race, but that is going to be very close to the end if we don't have another caution. If we have another late yellow, then fuel mileage is not going to matter. Cycling back through the lead, there's where Charlie Davenport ended out. Bradley Ream there all the way back in the pack, trying to find where they have ended up to. Currently the 66 of Davenport is in the 21st position. That is bound to change this lap. Trying to see where he is now. I'm guessing probably in the 24th position. 25th, I should say. And then that means Bradley Ream is in the 27th position. So unfortunate gamble for those drivers as Tyler Reynolds nearly getting it. Actually, not nearly getting into. Really getting into Riley Sampson in the 24. Trying to get Appleseed Racing, all 3 of those cars into victory lane this season. Trying to see teams that have not gone to victory lane this season. Father Fruit Motorsports MWR has, I don't believe Buck Racing has gotten into victory lane this season. No, they have not. One of their drivers, Danny DeVito Jr., is out. Juan Rodriguez was caught up. He's going to be a non-factor, so I think this would probably be the best chance for their third driver, Danny DeVito Sr., to try and get a win. Also trying to see Full Frontal Motorsports. I don't believe they have a win this season. No, they do not. Appleseed Racing has 2 wins. American Motorsports does not have a win this season. They're the other Father Fruit Motorsports guys. Macklin Hamill Motorsports, they got 2 wins this season, both with Keegan Thompson. The NS Racing has a win, so does R Island, so does Pacific Racing, so does SF Premium. In fact, 2 of the SF Premium Motorsports drivers have wins, as a little bit of debris on the track there. There's some of the Appleseed Racing cars. Daisy Johnson, she's got a donut on her right side of that car. Lost Star Racing, another team that doesn't have any wins this season. Polar Star Motorsports has 4 wins this season, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they have definitely been the most dominant team this season so far. Charlie Davenport Motorsports, they don't have a win this season. And I believe that should be all the cars in the field. Only one single car team, I believe, yeah. So only 4 or so teams that don't have a win this season, as we are approaching the halfway point next time by, with Mitchell Collins being your leader. We'll get you a full field rundown in just a few short moments. Battle for second. Here comes DeVito Sr. underneath Ryan Benjamin Dover, I should say. But the cross flags being displayed for Mitchell Collins. We'll get you a full field rundown. It is Mitchell Collins, Danny DeVito Sr. recently going in second. 56 of Ryan I don't know why I'm making this mistake all of a sudden. Benjamin Dover rocking P3. Keegan Thompson is a lap down. Logan Williams, your last winner here in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series, is 4th. P5 is occupied by Owen Miles, and it's Al Lagacy. Your Milwaukee winner of Zachary Davis, have not seen much of him this season. Colton Yeo having a strong run here late in the second half. 10 of Jonathan Logan, Carter Joey, all 5 of the Father Fruit Motorsports cars in the top 10, so a great achievement for that team so far. Saw the 91 of Derek Hamill in the wall. Then it is Nathan Buchanan, Brady Wilmington, Caleb Campbell, your second in points, Eric Monaco, Trey Smith, Tyler Reynolds, that got close right there. There's Madison Tall, James Edwards, Riley Sampson, Daisy Johnson, Cole Sampson, your points leader of Landon Smith Jr. not having a good day, 23rd right now for that 88 car. And then his teammate of Nathan Smith, owner driver for Polar Star Motorsports. And then it is Charlie Davenport, Bradley Ream, Juan Rodriguez, Caleb Rose is a lap down, Dustin Davis. And that rounds out your field. If you're just tuning in, we have got 28 cars on the lead lap, 30 cars left on the racetrack. Brendan Goodell, Daniel Voiles, Dave Benjamin Jr., Jake Hoover, Ryan Benjamin, Zachary Fitzwater, Josh Williamson, Matt Tuck, Danny DeVito Jr., and Nathan Stapleton, all involved in a massive incident on the 25th lap of the race, if I'm not mistaken, or 20th lap of the race. Basically, about a quarter of the way through the race was that large wreck, but back to the race lead. It is Mitchell Collins putting a large gap over Danny DeVito Sr. in that number 50, but he's slowly reeling in on that 77 of Dustin Davis. Actually, he's quickly reeling in, I should say, right on the rear bumper. I think he is going to catch that 77 either this lap or probably this straightaway, but I think he's just going to go to the inside. Oh, going to get held up here just a little bit by the 77 of Dustin Davis. Going to try and get around him. He's just going to bump draft him down the front straightaway, give him a little love tap in that rear bumper, and Davis is going to oblige and go to the outside of the leader. Now this is the exact spot. Danny DeVito Sr., he's going to catch him. Going to get around him a little bit more easier and quicker than Mitchell Collins did. Going to gain 0.3 of a second last time by. Let's see how much he gained or lost this lap. Lost 1/10 of a second, exactly 1/10 of a second over that 50. Clean air definitely playing a large factor into this race. But I think that 48, I'm not sure. If we have another caution, then that's going to throw the fuel strategy out the window. But I'm not entirely sure if these guys can make it or not. Fuel window is roughly 60 laps, so I think they're going to be cutting it short, or close, I should say. Because they came down on roughly lap 20 or so. So they're going to be cutting it short. But I think as long as there's no caution, I think that 50 and Mitchell Collins might have his bed made so far. But I've been jinxing drivers all season long, and I probably just jinxed Mitchell Collins. So Jonathan Logan, please don't attack me with a barrage of hentai in my Discord DMs if Mitchell Collins doesn't win. But Battle 4, that is not for the last position on the lead lap. Caleb Rose just trying to log laps around here, currently in the 30th position. Actually is for the battle for trying not to go 2 laps down. So this is technically for position here. Actually, no, it's not for position. I thought the 19 was a lap down. That is not for position there. So Caleb Rose just trying to log laps here at the Dover International Speedway. I think most of these drivers just getting into a rhythm. Took out a lot of drivers in that lap 20 or so big one in turns 3 and 4. Benjamin Dover. Why am I just noticing now and having trouble now with the amount of Benjamins in the field? And the late remaining Benjamin in the field nearly got taken out by Keegan Thompson in the 7. Thompson is currently running P28 in that 7 car. I think he was just unfortunately caught a lap down on under that second yellow. And just very unfortunate. But now the chess match begins for Mitchell Collins. Same for Danny DeVito Sr. as Caleb Rose is going to try and go to the inside of the 19 and Juan Rodriguez. Rodriguez does not want to go a lap down, so he's trying to fight for that 54, but he's going to be stuck on the outside lane. Mitchell Collins is going to try and use Caleb Rose as a little bit of a barrier here, and he's going to easily scoot by them. Juan Rodriguez is going to duck down low, closing in on 30 laps to go here, and calm second half of the M&M 400. Very chaotic start, first quarter of the race. But Caleb Rose is going to go 3 laps down, 2 laps down in this one. Just Caleb Rose just having absolutely dismal midway part of the season. Was very quiet early on in the season. Had a string of top 20s at the very least, but forget exactly what race where everything started to go sour. I think Boston was definitely one of the first races that his season started to go south, but after that it's just been terrible finish after DNF after terrible finish for that 54 team. And very, very unfortunate, but back to the race lead. I think it's going to come down between the 50 of Mitchell Collins and the 48 of Danny DeVito Sr. And Bradley Ream. Now, I think Bradley Ream, he and Charlie Davenport are definitely going to have to come down pit road. So I think Bradley Ream is going to try and do everything he can not to be lapped by Mitchell Collins, but he's going to have to act fast, and I think he's going to have a losing battle. Mitchell Collins is going to go to the inside. And the reason I bring these two up, these two definitely have to pit once again. And if a caution does come out, then those guys are going to have not fresher tires, but they'll probably be on a somewhat equal strategy than the top runners. So I know Bradley Ream, he's probably going to be furious if a caution does come out. Same with Charlie Davenport. But those guys are definitely going to have to come on in. Oh, we got a caution out. Riley Sampson and Cole Sampson. Sampson brothers involved. And this is the race back. Charlie Davenport and Bradley Ream have got to be hitting themselves right now. That's going to just completely tear their strategy apart. They're going to be caught a lap down, unfortunately. But that's going to change the name of the game for those drivers. That's just going to throw the fuel situation completely out the window, as it is starting to pour. I don't know if you can hear that at the time of recording. We're getting hit by a tropical storm, so hopefully I don't die in the making of this recording. But it looks like the Sampson brothers were tangled up in turns 3 and 4. And now Charlie Davenport. Some split strategy by these guys. These guys aren't coming down. Now his brain is really picking up ahead of me. But these guys aren't coming down. So I think under caution laps, these guys should be good to go. But I don't know. It's going to be tight. But for Bradley Ream and Charlie Davenport, that's just really unfortunate for those guys. But Mitchell Collins is your leader, and that's going to reel in the 48 of, what's his name, Danny DeVito Sr. trying to get Buck Racing their first one. Actually, top 3 guys with Mitchell Collins, Danny DeVito Sr., and Owen Miles. Actually, Al Lagacy also. And as well, actually, top 6, I should say. Top 6 drivers, each trying to get their respected teams their first wins of the season, and all trying to get their first wins of the season, of their careers, I should say. So definitely, actually no, Juan Rodriguez is a lap down. So top 5 indeed, with Colton Yo, Al Lagasse, Owen Miles, Danny DeVito Sr. and Mitchell Collins, all trying to get their first wins of the season. Their team's the first win of the season as well. Doesn't appear anyone else is going to come down the pit lane. So looks like the Sampson brothers were caught up in turns 3 and 4. Let's take a look and see what happened to bring out the third caution here at the Dover International Speedway for the M&M's 400. So this is probably not going to go over well at dinner tonight in the Sampson household. Cole Sampson gonna hook Riley Sampson. Exit of turn 2, definitely been the trouble spot here, like it was in Milwaukee, in fact. And Riley Sampson gonna go around. Fortunately, that is just enough. He's gonna hit the wall hard. That's enough to trigger the caution lights. But other than that, a very simple incident here. But once again, somebody hooking somebody in turns 3 and 4 on the back straightaway. I think Nathan Smith is just gonna get by here pretty nice and easy. Gonna go in between the apron and the banking. They're gonna kind of damage the suspension on that 25 just a little bit, but he's already damaged enough, so not gonna really matter. But Riley Sampson getting dumped by his brother, unfortunately. So we might have some brotherly love in the garage after this one. But man, oh man, following along here with Riley Sampson, Cole Sampson just hooking his brother right there on the exit of turn 2. Gonna hit the back straight turn 3 wall just a little bit, enough to trigger the yellow. And this is gonna change the entire nature of the game. Mitchell Collins was pulling out to a pretty steady lead over Danny DeVito Sr. Had a couple lap cars in between him, but now that's all gonna change. The lap cars are gonna be on the inside, as we're not within 10 laps to go. But Mitchell Collins is your leader. Only a couple of cars that needed a pit came down the pit lane. Everybody else stayed out. So Mitchell Collins will be your leader on the restart here at the Dover International Speedway. Let's see who can get it done here. Will probably be the final caution here at the Monster Mile for the M&M's 400. Welcome back here to the Dover International Speedway, wrapping up our third caution of the day. Nobody was knocked out of that incident. Neither Sampson brother was knocked out, but I think some Sampson blood and teeth are going to get knocked out after this one, as that was just kind of circumstances there. It's probably a racing deal, but still 30 cars on the racetrack, with your cars that were knocked out in that early incident earlier still being knocked out. 24 cars on the lead lap, but Mitchell Collins going to lead them back here with about 25 or so laps to go here in this one. That was a loud thunder clap right here. My power is probably going to go out, so I'm probably going to have to redo this race, so that'd be interesting. But a restart here, Mitchell Collins in the lead. It's really coming down outside right now. I'm praying that we just get to the end of this, so I don't have to redo this race. But Mitchell Collins to the lead on the outside. You see the lap down cars going to follow in, but Keegan Thompson, probably the fastest car on the that's a lap down, actually going to get his lap back here. Mitchell Collins on the outside. I'm going to get sent hentai here, as Danny DeVito Sr. is going to go to the lead. Collins way wide in turns 1 and 2. He's going to lose the podium position. He probably is going to fall outside the top 5 here. But now Owen Miles, and now the Catbirds need to possibly pass the 48 of Danny DeVito Sr. 25 laps to go here in this one. And now Owen Miles to the inside of DeVito Sr., another driver. Oh, Charlie Davenport making some contact with the 91 of Derek Hamill. Lagasse and the 48. A little bit of contact there, and actually, so you see Charlie Davenport and Bradley Ream, those guys are on fresh tires, so they're going to be passing everybody left and right. So this might actually work out in their favor, them starting on the inside lane. Oh, we got a caution, Madison Tall outside. As you see, Al Lagasse hit the wall. Actually, if they were just a lap down, if that was probably a couple laps later, they would possibly pass them. But fourth caution out, Owen Miles going to lead them back to the stripe. I think Charlie Davenport got around the 40 car. This could actually play into Charlie Davenport's favor, possibly here. So he could be a lap down. Bradley Ream is still going to be a lap down here. Now, if these guys pit right here, which I'm not sure they are, so Owen Miles going to hit the pit lane. No, it appears he is not. Caution coming out here on lap 68 of 80, closing in. I'm going to have a restart with less than 10 laps to go. Not sure if Davenport's going to be scored a lap down. No, Davenport's going to be on the lead lap. But if only these guys did not come down. I think Davenport's not out of it yet. I think Ream is going to be out of it, but Davenport, he's going to start on the tail end of the longest line, unfortunately. But Owen Miles trying to get Full Frontal Motorsports their first win of the season. But Madison Tall probably flipped down the banking once again. All three NS Racing cars are going to be knocked out of this one. But coming to 10 laps to go here, probably going to get restarted with about 7 laps to go. Let's quickly review what happened to Madison Tall to bring out the fourth, and hopefully this time will be the final caution here in the M&M's 400 at the Monster Mile. Like we saw in the earlier incident with Brandon Udell and Ryan Benjamin, and actually with the Sampson brothers, Nathan Smith hooking the wall, going high off of turn 2. And this was a very similar incident with Ryan Benjamin as Madison Tall gonna go for the ride of her life, barrel rolling down the back straightaway into turn 3. That is definitely worthy of a caution here. Tall still rolling in the 99 Target car. That Chevy is just going to keep rolling down the banking. We're seeing a lot of similar accidents, very similar to Joey Logano's accident in 2009 here. But a wild ride for your Boston winner, the only female winner this season for Madison Tall. And then 25 of Nathan Smith, the instigator in that, unfortunately. So we'll take a real-time replay of this, and then we'll get you back to the restart, a late race restart here at the Dover International Speedway. Running around here in real time, following along with Madison Tall, just Nathan Smith overshooting turn 2. And then upside down goes Madison Tall, barrel rolling down the back straightaway, easily going over probably 10 or 15 or so times. Look at that girl go. And then coming on a rest on her wheels here in the 99. And she is going to be teleported back to pit lane. All three NS Racing cars involved in incidences this afternoon. Very unfortunate for that team. There is an Owners' Championship that'll be calculated towards the end of the season. That is not going to help with that. But fuel is definitely going to be an issue along with tires. Owen Miles stayed out along with the rest of the field. But Charlie Davenport, who came down the pit lane on that last accident, he's going to get his lap back along with Keegan Thompson. I think if these guys run out of fuel, which is possible at this point, it's not completely impossible. There's a small percentage, but it's still possible. Charlie Davenport could possibly come in and steal this one away, but we'll just have to wait and see. But Owen Miles will be your leader with less than 10 laps to go. They will restart single file here. Let's see what happens on the restart here in the M&M's 400 at the Monster Mile. Welcome back here to the Dover International Speedway, wrapping up our fourth caution of the day. And it looks like Bradley Ream, he's still a lap down. Madison Tall was the only car knocked out of that incident, it appears. Yes, it was. Nathan Smith still on the racetrack, going to get restarted with 8 laps to go here in the M&M's 400 for Owen Miles. They're going to be restarting single file, so that is good for Owen Miles. He's going to have a lap car in between him, but that lap car has about 40 lap fresher tires than Owen Miles. I should say probably 50 lap fresher tires than that 40. So we'll just have to wait and see. But the Papyrus Pace car pulls off on the pit lane. Late race restart here at the Dover International Speedway. Who is going to get it? We'll find out. Restart here in the M&M's 400. Owen Miles going to go to a little bit to the outside. It's going to allow Bradley Ream. We see one of the Otter Island Motorsports cars getting caught up in the wall. That is your last winner of 79 of Logan Williams. I think he's a little bit too far back to possibly win this thing, but battle for the points. Madison Tall was knocked out. So she's going to be a non-factor. So is Brady Wilmington. So this is definitely top 2 in points. Definitely getting spicy here. As now battle for the lead. 3 wide for the lead. It's a drag race down the back straightaway. Here comes Colton Yo to the inside. Oh man, this is going to get tight off of turn 4. DeVito Sr. into the wall. That's going to allow Benjamin Dover to scoot by. 6 laps to go. Can Benjamin Dover win at Dover? Or is it going to be Owen Miles, teammate of Colton Yo winning? Well, within the range, if we have another caution, which is likely the guys are racing, it's going to be over. Coming to 5, count them, 5 laps to go for the 1 car of Colton Yo. Had an absolutely horrific start to the season, but now he is in position to possibly get his first win of his career, his first win of the season, and his first win for Full Frontal Motorsports. But Benjamin Dover is hounding that 1 car, coming to 4 laps to go. Owen Miles has fallen off the face of the earth. He and DeVito Sr. have fallen outside the top 10 Honor Island Motorsports cars. Nose to tail here. But it's getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Thought the caution was out there for a second. These guys are still racing pretty wildly. I would not count out a caution yet. Coming to 3 laps to go for Colton Yo in the 1 car. Benjamin Dover under fire from the 50 of Mitchell Collins. Shout out to Carter Joey up here, rounding out the top 4. And then Al Agassi in the top 5, trying to find where Jonathan Logan, team owner for this team, is. He's back there in the boonies there. Whoa! Danny DeVito Sr. goes around. Is that enough to trigger the yellow? Yes, it is. Race back to the caution flag. It's going to be Colton Yo to the caution flag. Colton Yo gets back there with 2 laps to go. And that should end it. Pending that Colton Yo does not have an engine failure here. And the next 2 laps, this is going to be his race. Danny DeVito Sr. and Caleb Rose. I think Colton Yo may have just given his bad luck to Caleb Rose here. But man, oh man, Carter Joey gonna go to the outside here. Daisy Johnson also involved. All 3 Velocitar racing cars gonna fail to finish here. Very unfortunate, but this race is going to be official. White flag in the air, under caution for Colton Yo. Exactly 1 mile to go for car number 1. Wow. What a wacky, topsy-turvy race here at the Dover International Speedway. And hopefully, Colton Yo is going to give Full Frontal Motorsports their first win in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. An absolutely wild race here. Gonna watch as they come onto the back straightaway. Colton Yo, I know he's gonna be watching at his computer, praying that engine does not go sour or something stupid happens. Benjamin Dover so close to winning at his named racetrack. Carter Joey is gonna get 4th, and Al Agassi stitching together a nice run. So are your top 2 in points, Landon Smith Jr. and Eric Monaco. Thankfully, we've got the chase, so unless they'd be running away with it. But coming off of turn number 4, the GOAT of this season, the scapegoat, I should say, this season, Colton Yo. So they come on to the front straightaway. Driver number 1 is going to be finisher number 1. Checkered flag in the air. Colton Yo gets it done here at Dover. Absolutely astonishing way to win here at Dover. A bonsai 3-wide bonsai move on the inside by that 1 car. And Colton Yo, first career victory in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Fortunately, this is post All-Star break race, so he's not going to lock himself into the All-Star race. Actually, he'll lock himself into the All-Star race next season, along with Logan Williams, if he chooses to return next season. But Colton Yo, first win of the Mission Barbecue Cup Series for him. First win for Full Frontal Motorsports. William Brock has got to be a happy camper. Even though one of his cars did not finish. Trying to find where Owen Miles is. There's Owen Miles. But Colton Yo gets it done here. After race ending yellow. See what happened to Danny DeVito Sr. Looked like DeVito Sr. was going to have a chance to possibly win the race here, but unfortunately going to get knocked out. And Colton Yo is your winner. Started in the 39th position for that one car. We'll quickly review what happened to bring out the final caution of the day, but there's your top 10. Colton Yo, Mitchell Collins, Benjamin Dover, Carter Joey, Al Agassi, Landon Smith Jr., Eric Monaco, Charlie Davenport. Actually, Charlie Davenport climbed his way to 8th with those fresh tires. So Charlie Davenport, the gamble paid off for that number 66 team. He gets a nice top 10 finish. James Edwards and Cole Sampson round out your top 10. And then there it is. 24 cars finished on the lead lap. 26 finished the race. Let's quickly review what happened to Danny DeVito Sr. and Daisy Johnson and Caleb Rose to end this race under the yellow real quick. So this is what happened to bring out the final caution of the day. Once again, people overdriving the corner off of turns 3 and 4. Danny DeVito Sr. He was the driver that overdrove turn 2. Actually, he corrected it, but coming down on Owen Miles. Trey Smith also there. He's going to get a little bit of contact in that 38. But Danny DeVito Sr. goes around. That triggers the yellow flag. That is exactly what Colton Yo wanted to see. But a long, lazy slide for the number 48. Almost going to get hit by Keegan Thompson. That got close right there, but then Daisy Johnson plows right into him, and so does Caleb Rose in the 54, I should say. Nathan Smith, Juan Rodriguez, and Dustin Davis making evasive maneuvers there. But unfortunately, that's going to spoil what was going to be a great run for that Buck Racing driver of Danny DeVito Sr. Looked like he was going to be having a solid top 5 day, but now he's going to finish outside the top 20. Same goes for Daisy Johnson and Caleb Rose. That's just been the story of the middle of the season. So we'll get you the real-time replay, and we'll get you the points here after race number 19 in the 2020 Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Real-time replay with the 48 of Danny DeVito Sr. Just going to overcorrect it, coming down the racetrack, and then that's enough to trigger the caution lights, and then going to get T-boned right here in the back end by both Velocitar Racing drivers that were left in the race. Almost wrecked right here, coming back to the caution flag. But the man of the hour, the man who was bullied a whole lot this season, as Bradley Ream just going to whip by those guys, hitting himself, just kind of being caught lapped down, unfortunately. But the man of the hour, Colton Yo, gets it done here at the Dover International Speedway here. It's absolutely amazing race here. Definitely one of the most fun and entertaining races, I should say, here. And if you're watching this, my power stayed on, so the storm has passed me. So the power has stayed on, so Colton Yo is officially your winner here at the M&M's 400 at the Dover International Speedway. Colton has tamed the monster, and he is hopefully going to launch himself in the points, not lock himself into the chase. That would be stupid. We're never doing that format. Knock on wood that I never decided to do that stupid format. But next race after this, if I'm not mistaken, just going to pull up my schedule real quick. As you see Colton Yo going around. I hear thunder again, so I'm going to quickly tell you what the next race is going to be. So the next race will be the Menards 500 from the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's going to be on August 9th. Going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern Time race. Actually, this race was on August 6th, so quick little prayer to the 75th anniversary of the Hiroshima bombings, praying for all those that are survived that bombing and that are still feeling the effects of what ultimately had to end World War II. So praying for all those guys, feeling those that in the Far East and southern Japan. And on next race for Indy, we'll be praying for those that felt the effects of the Nagasaki bomb 3 days later. But don't want to kind of jump ship here from a sensitive subject to a good subject. But Colton Yo gets his first win of the season here at the Dover International Speedway tames the beast, tames Miles the monster. And that's all I've got to say. Here are the points after race number 19 of 35. It is getting to go time in the chase. And it was definitely go time, stop time for Ryan Benjamin there. Trying to find where he is. 35th. That is not going to help him on the bubble spots. But that's all I've got from the Dover International Speedway. This has been the M&M's 400. Congratulations to Colton Yo. And on behalf of nobody here once again, I have been Trey Wright. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen, from Dover, Delaware. This has been the Michelin Barbecue Cup Series. I have been Trey Wright, and I am the NASCAR Nerd 34, I should say, signing off.